Okay, what did I want to say? Yeah, I want to talk about something specific that, you know, I've had experience with, but nothing where I can make sense out of it. But taking from other people's experiences, I can probably try to make sense out of something. So, I had times where I would be like in a state where I was half asleep and half awake, okay? Half asleep, half awake. And there would be times where you'd hear these voices start to speak. So one of them, I had one here in this house actually, where I asked a question and something answered back to me. Now look, this could just be a process of my mind, right? Like a schizophrenic person has these things that happen where these voices talk back to them in a certain way. So yes, it could be like that aspect of the mind, but it only happened when I was like in a half asleep, half awake type of state. And I was in that state, just very relaxed, and I asked a question. Like, I asked a question, like, expecting a response. I don't know why I asked the question, but I asked the question. And I said, can I be happy, whole, and healthy, or something like that? Some ridiculous thing that it was like a conscious, but not really a conscious question. Like, I was kind of just watching myself ask these questions. Like, I was observing what was going on, like a conversation, like a third person, like, observing a conversation in my mind. And so, but one of them was like a version of me, basically. And then another one was like some completely other version. It was like a female voice. And I asked, can I be happy, whole, and healthy? And the voice said yes. Now, when the voice said yes, I got scared. And so I got out of I couldn't ask any more questions because I got out of that state and I got scared. But the thing is, like, that thing only answered a yes question. I wonder if it could answer questions, specific instructions to give me. Like I said, like, what can I be? What can I do to get happy? What can I do to get rich? What can I do to get a bunch of energy? Tell me what to do. You know what I mean? Like, because what if it's like a part of your mind that's very intelligent? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if it's part of your mind that's very intelligent? And look, it was a happy voice. Like, it wasn't a mean one. It wasn't one that's like saying, fuck you, you know? You know what I'm saying? It was like a happy one trying to just offer some advice. I asked, can I be happy, whole, and healthy? And the shit said yes. If the shit said no, I'd be like, what the fuck, nigga? What you mean no? But it said yes. So I'm saying, like, what if like you get part of that mind and that mind can give you instructions? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna bring this full circle of why I'm saying, like, talking about this. Another time this happened where I was in my old house in Florida, and I was like in the same state, but this time it was a little bit more deeper and a little bit more pleasant, meaning like I was feeling immense joy while being in the state. And I heard voices, but the voices were in different languages, and I saw colors and lights on my face, but I couldn't make any sense out of what was going on. But I saw colors and lights, and the voices were speaking in a different language, like some Hebrew, some shit like that. I don't know what language it was, but it was some other language. It's probably like Hebrew or something, because the way they talk, I could do I could probably do the research on what specific language, but I'm not sure. Anyways, I was in that state, and I was feeling immense joy, getting really relaxed into it, so deep. And the reason why I got out of it, because I was scared. I'm hearing voices, bro. I'm hearing audible voices of these people talking in Hebrew. Somebody really chanting some Hebrew shit, like with passion. But it was it was a fun, joyful experience. I was just scared. Now, what if I went deep into it and allowed everything to happen that needs to happen? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. Like, what if I did that? And it's like, bro. So that's that. Now, I didn't get any specific instructions from these dreams. Nothing. Nothing came out of these dreams physically, like no manifestations of any kind, no greater, no different stratosphere of life, you know. specifically talking about, I mean, more awareness came out of it. I got more aware, but of like what can happen in a human mind, but nothing changed in my life. These guys didn't give me any directions or nothing of this sort. If anything, my life got even more of a downward spiral because I used to be ignorant of these things, and I used to just be fully present in life, and then these things kind of snapped me out of it. Like, less spontaneous, but yeah, I mean, I guess it was part of my life's journey. Now, why I asked this? I asked this because I've been doing research on lottery winners, and a lot of these lottery winners say that when they were in their dream, someone told them and gave them directions, maybe a dead family member or a voice, or they had an intense feeling or a very deep and vivid dream that felt so real to them. And it was all in this semi-awake, semi-sleep state is where they got their instructions from. What I'm saying is they essentially got it unconsciously. They didn't think to do this thing. But can this thing be accessed consciously? You know what I mean? Can it be accessed consciously? You know, like you can shoot a hoop you can shoot a basketball in a hoop without knowing how to shoot. You made it unconsciously. You don't really know how to shoot, but you can also practice shooting, where you can start making you start with like 3 out of 10 shots, and then you keep practicing, you get better, and you start hitting 8 out of 10 shots with practice, right? At first, it was just a lucky shot, but then you practice, and now you can make the shot more efficiently. And depending on how much you practice, it depends on how efficient you can make a shot. It's like you're walking, you get up and walk as a child. At first, you were wobbly and shaky, but then you became efficient at walking. Maybe occasionally you might trip up or make a misstep, but 99.99% of the time, that other foot is gonna, like in a sequence, pair up with your other foot. Maybe you might trip a couple times, like I said, but 99.99% of the time, you're gonna be able to walk. You're gonna be able to talk because this thing was learned. So what I'm saying is, this dimension where these people are going into this space of their mind and getting instructions and getting emotions, not just necessarily instructions, but getting intense emotions of joy and serendipity and ecstaticness, or whatever, if that's even a word, happiness, and instructions to design their life in a particular way, like what they need to do, what's gonna happen in the future, all this shit. They feel the intense emotion. Can this deeper part of your mind be practiced? Can you practice getting access to this mind? Can you practice utilizing this deeper part of the mind? And can this mind work for you? You know, can you make this mind work and do stuff in your life that needs to get done? Just for what needs to get done, not to hold any power against other people, but just to be a fully fledged human being, you know? People encounter this thing luckily, but like, what if you can encounter this mind consciously? And how does one encounter this mind consciously? I guess the only way to do it is get yourself in a relaxed state and begin to start playing with it and programming certain things, because a lot of the time they say when it happens is a voice was literally telling them vividly, or they were in a dream and the dream was so vivid it felt as real that when they woke up they didn't even know that, they couldn't even believe that the dream wasn't real. Like they thought that was the real life and their real life was fake. That's how vivid that shit has to get, right? So how the mind is everything. I mean, there's no experience of the human without the mind, right? Otherwise, you're just a full presence in the moment, but there's no like day-to-day functional activity without the human mind. It's a tool that every human being uses. Some people use it more consciously. A lot of people use it unconsciously. Some get things of happiness and joy and talent and excitement in their mind all the time, and most of the time. And some get, frustration, sadness, and no skill and no talent and no work at all in their mind. And, everybody's mind is different, and their mind is what's making them move around in their life. And that's just what they can pay attention to. But what's going on in the deeper, subtler part of the mind? You know what I'm saying? How does one get access to this mind? And how does one program this mind? Where the body and the brain is a hardware, Windows and Linux is a software. Our body and brain is a hardware. Your personality and everything in it is the software. Can you change the software? Can you change the software so much that the external reality changes into something completely different? You know what I'm saying? It's just a thought to hold on to, and it's just something to think about. That every time anybody has ever achieved something big, they had a great feeling of it was coming and it was here already, and they were already embodying it. And then a lot of this bigger, deeper mind, this is a cool story there. Like Tyla, the singer, she said she had a dream that her song Water was just gonna go so successful, and she saw a bunch of numbers and blah blah blah. Like she just knew it was gonna be successful, and she felt it in her heart going to sleep. She had a dream about it. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? She had a dream about the song Water was gonna go successful, and like she knew it was so real and vivid. And she woke up and this shit started getting fucking plays and hits, and it was a major song. That shit platinum or something. I don't know. Yeah, like a probably multiple platinum song. It was one of the biggest songs. It had its run. You know, that's one thing to think about. There's probably other stories like this, but it's like, how can one access this deeper part of their mind? And I doubt that it takes any. I doubt that it takes any real mastery of time. Like how I doubt that it takes a bunch of time. I'm pretty sure it just takes an open and receptive person to get access to the mind. You can instantly go into it right now because it's here with you. You just have to break it down. It's like when you shoot a hoop, you can make a shot. It might take you like 15 tries, but when you make the shot, you made the shot. So like with the mind, it might take you 100 tries to try to get in it. But when you get in that space, you're in that space, and that shot is gonna get made. So if you want $100,000 and you get in that mind of the $100,000 person, in the deep state of your mind, the relaxed state, and you put that consciousness in there, that program in there, then you made the shot, right? It might have took 100 tries, but you made the shot. It's really just convincing yourself that you made the shot. And then that mind starts to take a mind of its own and starts to make you get up and go. And you think that you're doing everything on your own will, but it was what's getting placed in this deep mind, in that semi-conscious state. Anyways, I'm done talking. This was just a thing to think about and really internalize. Yeah.